After purchasing a combination lathe and mill from Grizzly, I needed a dedicated spot in my shop to place the machine, and I needed the table that it sat on to be heavy and sturdy. Stay tuned over the next 3 videos and you'll see how I transformed this pile of lumber into this heavy table that now supports this machine. The process would require me prepping all of this framing lumber and cutting it down to size in a way that I could use it to laminate the tabletop. I'm using Southern Yellow Pine 2x6s. The table will be 10 feet long, and so it's comprised of 10-foot boards, a 6-foot and a 4-foot board, a 6-foot and 2 2-foot boards, and then another 6-foot and a 4-foot board, and those alternate, creating a butcher block top, if you will. The finished thickness will be about 3.5 inches and about 3 foot wide to support all of the machines that I wanted on top of it. If you've ever worked with framing lumber from the big box stores, you know that most of it will be twisted, cupped, and bowed, and cracked, and so I needed to do some heavy prep work to get it ready for becoming a stable tabletop. And the way I did that, of course, was by laminating the boards. I would start by gluing together 6 boards, creating a beam that I would then flatten and true up, and then I could register all the remainder of the glue ups off of that board. And I had to do it in place in the corner of the shop because I would be unable to move the heavy table once I got it completed. The first step was to edge joint all of the lumber creating that beam, and I edge jointed 2-foot boards, 4-foot boards, 10-foot boards, and 6-foot boards. The next step was to take and run that edge-jointed board against the table saw fence, creating a rough width, which would end up being the thickness of the table. I ripped all the boards down to about 3 3/4 of an inch, which would leave me roughly 1/4 of an inch to plane off whenever I surface the entire tabletop. To make the first lamination easier to work with after it was glued up, I decided to laminate it and clamp it against some straightened Douglas fir timber beams that I had in the shop. Doing this yielded a relatively flat lamination, but as with most glue ups, it still had some warp that needed to be worked out. I would take the warp out of this lamination by using winding sticks. I set the board on 2 sawhorses that were relatively in plane with each other, and then I started the process of flattening this board. I won't spend a lot of time talking about how to flatten boards using winding sticks on this video, but I will produce and release a video later that will walk through this process in depth. It's critical when using the winding stick method that the board doesn't wobble on the surface you're using to support it. So what I do is I check for wobble, and then I place shim stock in the point where it's loose, and that tightens it up and makes it where it doesn't wobble. The principle is to place 2 boards at different intervals across the face of the board you're trying to flatten and see how those 2 boards are related to each other. We're not looking for the boards to be level, we're looking for the boards to be parallel. And when they're not parallel, I can mark the high spot, knowing that the high spot is what needs to be planed off. I like to use 2 contrasting 4-foot levels for this process. And again, let me repeat, I'm not wanting the boards to be level, I want them to be in plane with each other. I typically go along at a relatively 1-foot intervals, and I mark the high spots. I pick one end to be my reference end, and therefore I'm forcing the remainder of the face of the board to be parallel or flat with that end of the board. After I've made my first marks on the high spots, I'll take a power planer and I'll attack those high spots, being sure to feather them out as I go. Depending on how twisted the board is, you may have to repeat this process multiple times in order to get a truly flat face. But with patience and time, you can end up with a flat board. Now it may go without saying, but once this process is complete, only the top surface is truly flat. Then the board will need to be flipped over onto the flat face, and the opposing face will need to be brought parallel to the face that you use the winding sticks on. And this can be accomplished in a number of ways, but I chose to use my 12-inch planer to do the job. And so I simply measured the height of the boards. I went to the planer and I planed off the opposing face, therefore making it parallel to the face that I had flattened with the winding sticks and power planer. By the time I finished flattening one side and flipping it over and planing the other face to be parallel with the original side, I was left with a laminated board that was 3 5/8 inches thick. This means I would have roughly 1/8 of an inch to plane off the entire tabletop surface once all the glue up was completed. After ensuring that the two opposing faces were truly parallel to each other, the only thing left to do is to ensure that the edge of the board is perpendicular to those two faces. So I'll put the board on its edge and ensure that when I run the board across the joiner, the face of the board is against the joiner fence, and I'm joining one edge to be perpendicular to both of the parallel faces. This is especially important since this lamination will be the foundation gluing piece for the remainder of the table. I want it to be perpendicular. Any other time that I did this process, I would then flip that edge against the table saw fence or back into the planer, and I would ensure that the opposing edge was parallel to that edge, therefore making it also perpendicular to the two parallel faces of the board. And that would make that glue up or that lamination a truly S4S board. Since this lamination will be the back side of my table, and that table will likely never move, I'm stopping here because this will yield the results that I need to create a good solid table. Thanks for watching my video today. If you enjoyed the content, give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you'll be notified when I post my future content. Definitely stay tuned because the next couple of videos will be about me completing this tabletop. Be sure to check out this video here if you want to find out how a woodworker is involved in making sure that your half-gallon cartons of milk or orange juice don't leak. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.